सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम् नमस्ते Dr. Chitra ji and Dr. Suraj ji. So, can we recollect something that we saw last? Yes, Chitraji, if you would like
Yeah.
to summarize, or yeah, please go on. Yes, you.
So we see that Dr. Nirodbaran takes in charge of the dispensary. And
Mm,
then there were a couple of discussions on the details in terms of maintenance of the workplace. We saw a couple of questions around that. And then he also expressed that he's doing less of sadhana, but yet he's feeling happier and light at heart. So Sri Aurobindo says that cheerfulness is like the salt, and it is always preferred over staying gloomy. And yeah, a question about the hostile forces. One must know what suggestions to take and what to reject. So they're often negative forces and should not be allowed and should not be receptive to those forces. That was one thing we saw. And then one question was asked, referencing to the mother's words on how it's easier for women to discover the psychic.
mm,
And then Sri Aurobindo lays the 5 points what we saw for sadhana. So it's not just discovering the psychic is the first thing, and after that there is more work to do. So first is discovering the psychic, and then we have to live in the psychic being, basically an evolved soul from experiences, and allow the psychic being to rule or dominate. And the fourth one is to rise above the mind. And fifth is finally what is higher than the mind has to be brought to the lower nature. So
okay.
these were the
It
five
did not
points
be
that,
in this order also. Sharvin said it should not need not be in this order.
yeah.
Okay.
So this was something we saw, and a couple of other questions.
If I just may interrupt a moment, Chitraji. Uh, so, I think just I got a chance to write about the mother and the four powers of the mother, and there also Sharvin has described in a very practical manner how means like first is our mental capacity. We must recognize it is limited because most of the time we live in the mind. We get attached to the emotions. We understand this is how it's going to happen. This is my expectation. The person has to conform like this, or I had a plan for myself, and when that plan doesn't work or it falls apart, we lose everything. So first is probably mind has to be in that it was talking about first letting go of the mind, going beyond the mind, opening, having the call of the psychic from inside, a direct call. Many times that call comes only after pain, but pain is not necessary. Even without pain, we can, but it's very rare that a person's psychic opens. But at that time, also, what happens because of pain, there's again recension, again, mind and attachment to emotions, and again, the person goes down. They live in their loop of the mind, they don't come out of it at all. It is like Maya forever. People live entire lives and keep wondering what is wrong, what did I do wrong, what, but they're never open to the Devi. So then the Devi's force, one should be ready to accept whatever the divine wants, not what we want. So again, for that, our choices have to be kept aside. We have to bear that force. We have to be ready to take blows from the divine. Not like this is not what I want a particular way. People have in sadhana also that my sadhana should go this way only. Krishna says this way, no, I may not go the other way. This is what I like, this is what I prefer. So I think I found a lot of similarities in what Sri Aurobindo told about the 5 steps there. And then we should start living in that psychic being or living in that consciousness, ready, and then only transformation happens. Means transformation of nature also happens. That is, nature means mental nature, emotional nature, physical nature, all nature. A person becomes transformed. For me, so much transformation happened by Damlaji only for me. I can say, and now also I'm not so different from before, but earlier it was, I can't imagine or how I would deal with situations which I'm able to deal at the moment. At least earlier, I'm not getting overwhelmed by the situations. So, yes, please. Yes, Steve. I hope I was not too long to break your flow. Yes.
I mean,
Sorry. Yeah.
that was the main thing. And then we saw the vital difficulties in sadhana, and which are both applicable to men and women. And whatever seems to be advantageous for one cannot necessarily be concluded as a disadvantage for the other. So there is advantage and disadvantage. But evolving is necessary for both. So these
Ji.
were some of the conversations that we saw, and yeah. And then assimilation of experiences is also important. That was one point that we saw.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last
In
point.
in Marathi, there is something called murne. Means you get the experience. Or if anybody has made a pickle, anybody has tried making pickles? Yes. So what happens if freshly say mango pickle? What do? You cut and then it takes some time, isn't it, for it to settle? You have to, in that oil, you put the other ingredients, you put the chili powder, salt, and other items, everything, and then you allow it to stay like that for some time. Afterwards, only it becomes what we call pickle. Like, something like that in our life also. Experiences that we get. We don't have to be in a spree of quickly, I want to gather this experience, that experience, like as if people have some spiritual LinkedIn profile where I completed this training, I am this, I am that. People keep trying to say, I have done this sadhana now, I have done this particular anushthan now, next job, next. Where is assimilation happening is a bigger question. Is because it happens. People go on a mantra repetition spree. People go on a reading spree. People go on a writing spree also. Even a person who is writing will have to learn to take a step back. If assimilation is not taking place, what are you doing? You are engaging in only what is pleasing your mind and senses. What we call prayas, not shreyas. In the Kathopanishad, that important line has to be understood. It is very clear if the soul is fully free. Free in the sense you are allowing yourself, you are not doubting yourself, you are not putting yourself in that trap of misery. Otherwise, it becomes a misery. But if you're able to pull yourself out of it, every moment is sadhana. Every moment, no big moment, no small moment, only reception, reception towards divinity. That is why Dr. Nirodbaran, he was not doing much sadhana, he said, and yet I am getting experience, I am feeling calm, I am feeling peaceful. If sadhana is making a person peaceful, then, disturbed, then that sadhana is of no use, isn't it? Maybe that sadhana need not be done only. So if it is not making, if you are giving, that is the lakshana. Your sadhana is going ahead, lakshana would be inner peace, inner calm. So here Shervinda said it's okay. He's doing a different type. He's doing a karma yoga only. Through his actions, conscious actions are bringing the same results as probably dhyana, as japa. So that was one thing which we saw. Without delay, let's continue. Did we cover the question of sleep? Yeah, we covered it, isn't it? That was assimilating. Yeah. All right, let us go on. My bravado has not worked, hence temperature is still rising, is still running. This is in reference to, I think, this previous note that Dr. Nirodbaran had talked about a patient. He had said that he had just quickly blurted out that it'll be all right in 2 days. Unfortunately, it did not work out like Nostradamus' prediction. It is something else. He is not having that yet. Let us see. Sherwindo, he asks, is it absolutely necessary to keep him in bed? To remain quiet out of the bed in light and air might be better. There are some people who keep fever if they are lying down all the time, and it is not considered good after a certain age. This is only for your consideration. So here, Sherwindo also is not ordering or advising the doctor. He knows things. He's able to see things. He's a drashta. Sherwindo has got that knowledge. This is also a common knowledge which doctors also advise, isn't it? Post-COVID time, ventilation is required. Good, everything should be a little more company of nature. All of that will help. But here we still see that. Guru is not speaking to Shishya, he's allowing the Shishya to have the freedom in that kshetra, and he just suggests. It's for your consideration. It's actually very important. Sometimes when we become too dull and weak and we just lie down and we enter into tamas. For me, many times Naviji would say, get up, go have some fresh air, breathe a bit, breathe that air and come back. When during COVID time I was lying down, I would get up for the Gita class. Then rest of the day after conducting the class, I would just lie down on the bed. Mother was very worried. She would ask Tamleji. He also had COVID. So he would come and see, basically, is this person still alive or is he just lying? Because I was lying like a log. That is a tamas. So that's not what we should have. It enters into it, becomes heavy then. So whenever possible, you have to try to awaken or stimulate the our system. I think Dr. Surajji is the best advisor. Ayurvedic Vaidya is there among us. Dr. Surajji, what do you think of this suggestion? Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Is we continue, is it, sir?
Yeah,
Is it
continue.
okay? All right, fine. Let's continue. ठीक है. Nirodban, in your proposed, or in bracket promised, volume on the subject of women, in the letter of the 19th instant, I would like to have answers to these points. Again, Sharvindo is being cornered. He's not leaving that subject. Sharvindo replies, there will be no volume with finality. Again, Nirodbaran asks, you say that man has kept women under his heels from time immemorial. But how has that been possible? Was there no tacit consent from the inferior and weak power to the superior intelligence and strength of man? Sri Aurobindo replies, they used their superior strength and cunning and took advantage of the psychic trend in women. That's all. If you think that is a justification. So again, Nirodbaran is not leaving that point, but Sri Aurobindo is pointing out that only. So somebody is having an opening also, psychic opening is still there or understanding is there. Somebody is using what we can say cunningness and superior strength. That is why Krishna has told, no, in the Gita, Dyutam Chalayatam Asmi. We must be able to understand deception. Yes, Manisha ji, you're adding something?
Hariom sir, can
Yes,
I
ma'am.
request can I request Chitradi for the page number?
Yeah. Yes, please,
It's
Chitra ji.
133.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Then Nirodbaran, his question number two. He has actually, I think, two, three, four, five questions probably. Let's continue. Question number two. Are women created only for the preservation of the species and the race? Sri Aurobindo. Much as doctors are. Only, of course, the doctor does not produce the species out of himself. Again, Nirodban, is it said that woman is man's guru and Shakti? Sounds queer, doesn't it? Sri Aurobindo replies, no more queer than the husband being a god. Husband god, Pati Devata. The husband is supposed to be the wife's proper and only guru. So why should not the wife return the compliment and be the man's guru? Tit for tat. Look at all of this. Huh? This is all 1935. Very progressive and that is what they say. Truth will remain the same, isn't it? No matter what happens. What is Satya will remain. We had great ideas in the past. We still have them today also. That era is not gone. Here also, in 1935 also, we see that same level maintained by Sri Aurobindo. Next question, number four. Nirodbaran. He says, is this Shakti needed to make a man complete and whole? Sri Aurobindo asks, is man needed to make a woman complete and whole? Nirodbaran. How are we different from Buddha, who you say was bound for nirvana? So far, our relation is with women is concerned. Sri Aurobindo, don't understand. We are not going for nirvana. At least I am not. Now, here, this is something interesting. What does Sri Aurobindo mean by saying I'm not going for nirvana? Anybody? There's actually a very big truth in this. Anyone? Okay. So yeah, Chitraji. Yes,
From
please.
I don't know how far is my
Please
understanding
go
right,
on.
but from mother's words, she mentioned that Sri Aurobindo is like an avatar. So
Okay.
it's like the descent of force that is
Okay.
there.
Fine. Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, he's here for a different purpose, is what I
So
understand.
avatar's
And
role is different. We can't equate it with everybody else, is it? All of us are
I'm not
different.
not really like that, but more towards taking
No,
us. I mean,
yeah. No, so
let, yeah.
one interesting aspect of Sri Aurobindo's yoga is about transformation of nature. Our personal will to disappear, or I want moksha, enough of this birth. And one person was telling me, I was like, you're speaking at as if you're going to go to the hotel and order one plate dosa. I'm wanting moksha now. It's means moksha kangsha bhi are mentioned in the Gita, isn't it? But what is the need for karma then? If moksha only is there, Arjuna had to get nirvana. He could have got it before the yuddha also, isn't it? So becoming available for the divine to bring about a transformation, to bring about what dharma sansthapanarthaya, where how does the divine bring? He brings as an avatar, but along with avatar, with Krishna was there with Balarama, isn't it? Sri Rama was there, along with Sri Rama, who was there? His brother was there, Lakshmana. So means for doing the work of the avatar, instruments have to be ready, isn't it? What kind of instruments choose? नहीं करना है. Enough. It's easy. It's easy, no? All tension is not there. No pressures of life. You become free. No, that is why this yoga is about transformation of nature, not running away from nature or what we can say getting extinct. So we're not in a position to even comment on the Buddha Nirvana or whatever Gita talks of Brahma Nirvana. That's a different aspect. We're not talking about it because maybe I cannot talk about it. I don't think I am qualified enough to speak about it. But here, what is different? Sri Aurobindo wants our Nirodbaran, isn't it? In the name of Nirvana, he's talking something which is not sense also. And it's trying to withdraw from the duties. That is not something which is ever allowed. Nirodhan goes on. He says, as for Shakti, we can get any amount of it from above, can't we? Sri Aurobindo replies, it doesn't look like it. Most of the Shakti is either not received or spilled. It does not follow that you should all go hunting for Shaktis to complete you. Okay, now I understood his question of Shakti was he was need for Shakti is through partner only is what he was thinking. So Sri Aurobindo says it's not necessary for everybody to go hunting for Shaktis to get complete. Fifth one. In the law of rebirth, is it true that once a man, always a man, and once a woman, always a woman? Sri Aurobindo says, no fixed rule, at least not invariable, but a general line of tendency. Nirodhan continues, I haven't left any marginal space in my writing because I want an exhaustive answer. The book can wait till Sunday. Sri Aurobindo replies, as you put no margin, I have put interstitials instead of the marginals. Nirodhan, Hitler and Mussolini are much better than Manu and Chanakya. I should say, for they haven't excluded women. Sri Aurobindo replied, I think Manu is the original, I think we know, isn't it? Ikshvaku, then Manu, and all of that entire in the Gita, the first was Manu. So we have Manvantras also. So he is what we can say the one original law giver, the one who made him. He's also called father of man. And we know Chanakya as well, brought the laws of kings. So here he's saying this is also because Dr. Nirodbaran had a foreign education, isn't it? So the question, this has come because of that only, probably. Hitler and Mussolini are better, much better than Manu and Chanakya, I should say, for they haven't excluded women. Sri Aurobindo replies, they want women to be subject to men and confined to the domestic drudgery and childbearing, which is the same position as Manu and all the old masculines had towards women. Nirodbaran, the divine grace has done something. I acted upon your advice and then felt better the whole day, as he wasn't in bed. Sri Aurobindo, it was not the divine grace, but the divine force. If it had been the grace, it would have simply said Tathastu, and the thing would have been done. As it is, last night I had to work a damned lot for this result. I only hope it will last and complete itself. So here we get an indication that Sri Aurobindo himself was working with what? With force. Force which he would plant, or he would send, he would direct. This very concept of forces which can be sent from one place to another, it seems out of the blue, isn't it? Or suddenly something which is not logical or practical. But I think we have all studied Bhagavad Gita. We all are aware of the forces of nature. The forces are working inside of us also, we are aware. We call them the forces of gunas in Prakriti. The three gunas are connected with so many things. What we think, what we eat, how we are. So many n number of factors are there. Just like that, force of consciousness can also be passed on. Because we have not experienced it, because we have not yet understood it, does not mean it does not exist, isn't it? A possibility may be there. Guru and Shishya relation, it is like that, no? One place the Guru sits and meditates, he focuses on the Shishya. Many times people have that. They do look at a photo and then they just pass on grace by staring. Just by staring. How is it possible? But some the Shishya experiences somewhere else. We saw a transformation of Giri to Totakacharya. It was of Guru's force. Shishya was receptive to that force. The Shishya became a good adhar, a good instrument for bringing about a transformation. So, like that, this force also, Sri Aurobindo had talked about it. It's absolutely tantric only. On the outer aspect, it looks like it's a small thing. Sri Aurobindo said, do this. Let him experience this. And from somewhere else, he was focusing and meditating on his Shishya. Have we all experienced this connection of force with people? Someone who's very close to us? Anybody? What you feel, what you think, it goes elsewhere in somebody without, it's like something like what we call telepathy. Or how did that person also think about the same thing? Has anybody felt that? Yes, Dr.
Yes,
Surajji. Any
I have
example if you can share?
experienced similar kind of things with my sister and my mother.
Huh. Okay.
It happens when the other person is very emotional
Okay.
and
Emotions are one thing is in Gita, we have been told emotions are a little lower. Indriyani
yeah,
Paranya. So,
we we have that connection
ha, ha.
and they are going through some kind of emotional fluctuation.
Okay, at that time, they are open.
That
We can say a psychic opening is there, and
psychic,
a
right?
bond is there. A bond of connection is there between the two. Then it
Emotional connection
happens.
that one person is experience some kind of difficulty with their situation,
Hmm.
emotional breakdown, that kind of emotion,
Hmm.
and the other person is not aware of any of that thing, but suddenly the
A
call comes
sense comes in, isn't it? Yes, but
and
that connection is there felt by the other person because that person is emotional or because that person is what we can say,
think
open in the psychic. He got a response, got a feeling.
not because of the emotion. At that
Yeah.
particular stage, that person was thinking about me, and I am also thinking about
Ha, ha, ha. So that
like
is
that.
what we call, yes. And that is probably what we say chitta or consciousness is that force, no? That
On
force is all pervading. It is all
that,
omniscient.
that we cannot, I cannot explain it because I don't know it
Ji sir, ji
authentically.
sir. Ji,
It
ji,
in
sir. We're all
like, but
just trying to get to understand better.
it's just like calling someone. Like
Yes, yes, it's absolutely like that.
that. They also need that perception.
Yes, they need a perception to receive.
Yeah,
That is
then
also
only.
important. Then only it will happen. And that is why they
Yeah,
say emotions are all actually kind of a fluctuation to receive and send.
they,
Means
I think that they were going through some kind of emotional
turmoil.
breakdown.
Yeah, yeah, I understood your example, sir. But I'm just saying, like how the mother says it's only the calm that the divine works. Means
Yeah,
a person wanted to do, like one person was told by the Amleji, just one line. Like you said, the turmoil, situation of turmoil, but he was open to that one line, and that one line became a Brida Vakya for that person. He said, Acha, if you are now going to fail, it is not because of grahas you are going to fail. It is because of you. That was the only one line told to him. And he was planning to come back to India with his wife and kids because he had taken a big risk and it looked like nothing is going to happen. And probably he checked grahas also. So Jyotish acharyas are waiting to give. They say
yeah,
all kinds of things. So they told him that this is your Mahadasha, this is not. So that time he was thinking of looking at all these factors logically. I am going to. Ramji wanted to tell him this is wrong, this is nonsense, and he wanted to put in the energy of a tiger or force inside. So that time he just said this one line. If you come back, you have not come back because of grass, you have come back because of you. Suddenly, that one line put a force of energy inside of that person. Ki, it's okay, I'll fight, I'll stand up, I don't care. I don't care how much time it takes. And this person changed his entire story. Means now that person in the foreign land has got his own home, he's built his own home in a foreign country, his child is doing so well. So, what is all this? This is again a force of creative force of what? Force of the god, force of the goddesses. Why they will work only in Bharat Rashtra? They cannot work elsewhere. It's not like that. It is not at all like that. But receptivity is there. So we should understand that. Otherwise, if we are not receptive, we will live in our own mind, we will live in our own emotions, we will have our own turmoils, and we'll never be able to solve. And we'll then sometimes have, I think Chitraji gave a beautiful explanation also in one of the floral meditations. Then you start doubting yourself, start doubting God, the confidence starts going down and down and down. So this is the thing. So here at least it is one interesting thing in Dr. Nirodbaran and Sri Aurobindo's what force Sri Aurobindo would send to the patients for healing. And that is why Nirodbaran would report so that conscious force of Sri Aurobindo may be received by the patients also. That was something. So here, this one of the factors for opening was let the windows be opened. I will, and then Sri Aurobindo pushed his force. Yeah, that's what he said. Last night I had to work a damn lot for this result. Next line he had, I only hope it will last and complete itself. So the force also works to some extent in the Aadhar has to be pakka or base has to be strong, to be receptive, to be holding that and allowing that force to enter and assimilate and transform. Otherwise, people don't get transformed, isn't it? People don't get transformed at all. You tell doctor, as the doctor Suraj can tell us very well. Patient has been told this is your medicine, take it. No, he will come back after 5 months again. Same patient. How much ever you try, because that person has to get transformed, he has to decide from inside. Otherwise, it will not work at all. And this is the problem actually. We do not change despite walking on a path for a long time because not because the force is ineffective, not because God is not powerful, Not because my grahas are bad, not because this birth is like this, not because people around me are not talking in a particular way. It's because I am stuck in my mind, in my own thoughts, and I need to push that outside. Isn't it? Take the trash out. I'm keeping the trash inside. Ah, well, listen, oh, Lakshmi is there where there is shaucha, isn't it? Where there is cleanliness. Does that mean only cleanliness of home or cleanliness of mind also? So, cleanliness of mind, you clear those thoughts, you will be conducive to creative ideas, creative force, prosperity, all starts flowing. So, that is something. So, grace, Sharvinda says, grace, otherwise everything is on grace. Tathastu. God also doesn't have to do anything, everything will happen. Eko ham bhavashyami. And that was the initial. But now in the Prakriti, it is a game of force. Always forces are at play. That's why we have to be alert. That's why we have to do sadhana at all times. Do not lose connect with the divinity. Let's continue. Nirodbaran says M has ringworm. It's a nasty business and very likely to spread. He has to go on persistently applying medicine and waiting till one day he is cured. As for the divine grace, I am afraid. Sharbindo replies, tell him all that and give him the treatment. He is as skeptical about medicinal force as others are of the divine species. So this person is having a doubt. Then many times good medicine is given also. The patient is having doubt and the effective medicine loses its potency. Somebody else will say, no, no, it's working. No, no, it won't work. Doctor, what have you given me? I have given you the same thing. The other patient has become all right. But no, that's the problem with this person also. It looks like. Nirodban goes on. I'm thinking of giving him benzoic and salicylic ointment. May I ask if you know anything better? Sri Aurobindo says, no, we don't. Benzoic and the other fellow can be tried. Nirodban. Totally. Sorry, today I examined patient N. There is a definite lesion in the left lung. It may be either pleurisy with effusion or TB. TB cannot be excluded altogether, considering his advanced age, long lasting oral sepsis, and susceptibility to the cold. They're quite a senior patient with quite a serious trouble. Shervindo replies, he says, I don't know whether there's TB, but the mental formation of TB on N was formed long ago. And when you have a mental formation like that, the physical results may not come at, sorry, the physical results may come at any opportunity. Pleurisy, a strong chill, even, etc. Because of this mental formation, the mother cannot see definitely. This is also one aspect we are seeing. State of mind, mental thoughts, mental formations. I am like this only. We keep trying to reinforce those mental formations. I am like this. I am unlucky. I am not good. I am not worthy. These are all what mental formations, isn't it? These are thoughts which are getting a form because of repetition. Dr. Suraj, wants to say something? Yes, sir.
Uh, on that on that note, I had one patient. Like, she was diagnosed with cancer, third stage,
Who?
and
Who, sir?
uh,
Sorry, your voice broke, sir.
hello,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. One patient was there, intestine cancer.
Colon, na?
So uh, she had her allopathic side of treatment and came to me for the Ayurvedic part of it. And then with the proper kind of medication, with 2 3 months, she was out of everything. And I've been guiding her to do yoga and do a daily routine and or something. But one thing is that she always thought that any kind of disturbance in her stomach, she thought of that the cancer is coming.
Hmm.
That kind of thought was there.
Hmm.
So was always supporting her, encouraging her not to focus on that, focus on the activities you want to do, make yourself happy, do not think of it. But no matter how many convincingly I told her, her family was also very convincing, but she kept saying to herself like that, it is that. And then the symptoms came one by
Mm.
one
Yeah.
and manifested actually
Mm.
part of the intestine.
Yeah.
So, and after that, it was very difficult for her to go through the same thing, and
Yeah.
happens like that.
Yes,
So,
yes.
uh, what I feel is that these kind of emotions, fear is the greatest one.
Yeah. It makes a freeze, no? You're not able to
It's
immediately work on it.
very difficult to take away the fear. Another, all other emotions are easy to manipulate, but fear is very stubborn.
So for
Only
that,
way
what do we need?
from fear is the truth.
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 Truth
Truth is
consciousness. That is going to remain. No, Satyameva Jayate, we say.
truth. That is the only truth. Only
Yes,
thing
yes.
is Paramatma. That is the ultimate. When we
Yes.
understand that truth, everything will be gone.
So means we should have a Shraddha Sthana, no? A
Yeah,
Shraddha Sthana.
only through Shraddha we can
Hmm.
affirm that truth again and again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Means no
We
matter
are,
what, this sthana will not change. When somebody has a Shraddha Sthana, I have my Shraddha Sthana is my mom.
mm,
No matter what happens, I will believe in my mom. But suddenly, due to human nature, we say Rajas, Tamas, Sattva, Guna, come, mother will say something opposite, or my
uh,
Shraddha Sthana will shake, then I will lose everything.
we have to found again and again
So,
and to
so
solve.
Shraddha Sthana is generally our Aradhya, or Guru, or somebody we very, very, very fully trust. And sometimes if
Mm,
our Shraddha is so firm, whatever force is in another person also will run away because of the firmness of the Shraddha. So I think this is something very important Dr. Surajji has said is gave a practical example of something similar to what Sri Aurobindo is just talking about in this letter. So that particular patient of Dr. Surajji, she manifested a cancer because of repeatedly visualizing visual thoughts. A friend of mine, she got diagnosed with cancer and doctor told her you have few months to live. And when she went to one more doctor, just a junior doctor in the same place, he tried to cheer her up, saying, ki, no, no, there is going to be possibility maybe there if something is there. So some hope. And this girl, she's just young, 26 years old, huh? And that too very seniors, means high stage of, again, it was connected with the lung only. So she was very much what we can say hopeful because everybody is giving only bad news. Nothing there, nothing is going to happen. Less than a year back, huh? 1.5 years also, I think. 1 year maybe. 1.5 years, that's all. That's not very new, I mean, very old news. So she went to that senior doctor and told that doctor, ki, see this, he is telling me there is hope. That doctor, we know what he responded. He said, Acha, you are going to now believe a junior doctor and not me. She was shocked ki why is this person not caring about my life and caring about his reputation. She stopped, she stopped having any shraddha at doctor's words. And she
yes,
started focusing on herself that she wants to be cancer free. And not only did she go through the chemotherapy, she didn't lose a single hair. I mean, maybe she
yes,
lost some hair, but she had such thick, strong hair that they did not fall. She got a what we can say wonderful scholarship immediately. She went through her treatment and then she had to go abroad for her very reputed college. Her name is also she has actually told I think I don't want to reveal her name again, but in Oxford and she had come in the news and everything. So what happened to her was remarkable. She got from the same hospital within a short period of time a document stating she is cancer free to go ahead for her higher studies. So
yes,
what has
yes, yes,
happened? The turn has happened. The tide has completely turned because of will, strong will. Because I actually had tears when she told me because I was like an elder brother. She got that shock. I also, and I'm trying to control and not show my emotions. She asked me one simple question, Dada, can I not dream? Am I
I
not
think I
allowed to see?
also should have given one more example
Uh,
on the positive note.
yeah.
Like there is one child of when he was coming to me was
Hmm.
of age of 8 years old,
Hmm.
and he got a tumor in the brain in
Hmm.
three places: frontal,
In
parietal, three places,
Are Baap. Okay,
three
okay.
lobes had tumors.
Hmm.
So in Delhi only, go to the AIMS and every Max hospital. Everybody said it's no, nothing.
Hmm.
3 months, 4 months maximum. So he frequently get fixes like seizures
Fits seizures, yeah.
frequently. So like after consulting treatment of 1.5 months treatment and MRA shown differences.
Hmm.
It's a positive vibe
Yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely. So we're not trying to say anything bad about medical field or anything like that, but it is more about the mindset, isn't it?
Still going.
Ji,
Mm.
absolutely, absolutely. So this is the thing. So what we should understand at least is let us not be our own enemies. Let us not try to doubt ourselves, reinforce the doubt and create a, in Marathi, Bhite Poti Brahma Rakshas. Where there is fear, then you're creating, manifesting a Brahma Rakshas out of fear. So I think let's hold on to what all the higher emotions. Higher emotions is what there's only one good higher emotion, all other emotions are troublesome. That highest emotion is love. That love has to turn towards divine love, connect with the divine, hold on to Shraddha. Probably we can go ahead. Anyway, let us continue. So here, the mother, he said, because of this mental formation, the mother cannot see definitely. Meaning, even the divine is not able to act. Divine wants to act, but we have created a barrier. We want kavach from what? From lower forces. We can't say, I want a kavach from the divine force. But because of our doubts, because continuously we are assaulting ourselves, we are the biggest enemies. Atmaiva, Ripur Atmana situation is coming. That has to be transformed. It's okay. Try to start cultivating what is good inside of you and start looking at that instead of what is not so good. That is the only way because Namaji also says encourage merits, encourage merits inside of oneself. Otherwise, you will only be your enemy. Even Hanuman had to be told, no? Anjaneya, okay, you can take that leap. Somebody was there to tell him. So either we find somebody or we become that somebody for ourselves. Let's continue. Nirodban says the doubt can only be cleared by a blood exam and conclusively by exploration. Sri Aurobindo. But is pleurisy undiscoverable except by exploration? Blood exam is so often doubtful. 1935 time he's talking about. Let's continue. Nirodban says, I feel a great responsibility. It is bad luck for me to have to tackle such a difficult case. My prestige is also involved. Prestige is important, is it, for doctor and treatment? Not at all, isn't it? He's a young doctor, Dr. Nirodbaran, so he's having this question also. And he's being open with his guru. So there I think you're free to have. Let us never judge this correspondence because it is a Guru Shishya Samvad in an atmosphere of freeness. So he's been, Nirodbaran himself has brought out the book showing himself in bad light, no? Why? Because he wants to be the Arjuna for all of us also. We learn. Otherwise, Nirodharan would look like a Mount Everest and top of Mount Everest, and we will think, how can we reach his state of consciousness? But he says, no, I was not just on ground level, I was underground. And from here I have risen. So that is why he has allowed all of this. Otherwise, people, when they write their own aspects, they Photoshop things. They edit things, they blur things. All of that is not done. As it is pure truth only. So here he says, it is bad luck for me to have to tackle such a difficult case. My prestige is also involved. Nirodbaran, Sri Aurobindo says, it is a test case, I suppose. But why so strong on prestige? I should have thought everybody knows that doctors have to be guessing all the time and that a cure is a matter of hit or miss. If you hit often, you are a clever doctor. Or if you kill people brilliantly, then also it reduces itself to that. Nirodbaran. But may I ask you why you are wasting such a lot of force when a word could do the job? Why not cut short our labor and the patient's discomfort by saying Tathastu? Is it as easily done as it is said? If working a damned lot reduces the temperature only by 1 degree, and that too for 12 hours or less, what am I to think? I would surely like to see thy grace operating on this poor man. Certainly, this is a case for the descent of grace. So here he is investigating this also. He is testing the grace's strength, questioning. You said you worked a lot, and for reducing 1 degree temperature, that too for only 12 hours, you have done such a lot of work. Why are you doing it? Why don't you just say as Guru that has to and bring the transformation? They are wanting your grace, descent of grace is needed. That's why there are some people, no, there are people who give this kind of assurances. So these people have the biggest followings. I remember one person who was so famous when Damliji had only shown it to me. He was saying, "Oh, how to become receptive? Krupa ho jayegi," was his dialogue. We will not take anybody's name because it's a public platform. So this lady is saying, "This is so many problems in my life. What happened?" He said, "आलू पराठा बनाते वक्त ऐसे करो, कृपा हो जाएगी." And thank you, she said. So many such examples were given, which are absolutely what we can say. This is what happens here. This is also the kind of sort of an ignorance that Tathasta will do everything and not karma. Sri Aurobindo replies, I did not expect you to take my Tathastu with such grim seriousness. Speaking semi seriously, I am not here to do miracles to order, but to try to get in a new consciousness somewhere in the world, which is itself, however, to attempt a miracle. His aspiration, Sri Aurobindo's sadhana, was to bring about a new consciousness, avataran of a new consciousness. Where? Somewhere, somewhere, not here, not there, or exactly in this place. And I want to make it happen. The ideal of a human life, the ideal of a principle, somewhere. And that's his, and he had said, I don't mind trying continuously. Some place I would it happened. Things have changed. A direction is got. Direction for humanity also. But he said, I'm not here for miracles. He goes on. If physical miracles happen to tumble in the process, well and good. But you can't present your medical pistol in my face and call on me to stand and deliver. You see, as a doctor, you can't hold your pistol and tell me now immediately your medical make your grace work. If some miracles happen, like for instance, I think we experienced today, no, in Adyaji's session, it was a sort of a miracle. Today was the 50th session. That itself is a miracle, given the number of challenges she has faced through, and she's managed to bring internet challenges, rain, different places, all that aside. But today, one doctor, Dr. Vaishali ji, shared a video from the ICU. She said her father-in-law was not responding before he started responding to the bhajans. He was responding during that period. He was hearing. So now, what is that? What is that experience? Somebody will say it's a miracle. Sharon says, whatever happened, we are not going to attach and suddenly otherwise, okay, so this happened correctly at this particular time after these many bhajans. So somebody will do a research methodology after doing this bhajan in these many patients. These changes took place in ICU, these cases. No, we're not doing that. Sri Aurobindo says no. He says, "Listen, if miracles happen, he says, well and good, it may happen, fine. But you can't hold your medical pistol and tell me to deliver at gunpoint." He continues further. He says, "As for the force, application of my force, short of the supramental, means always a struggle of forces. And the success depends on one, the strength and persistence of the force put out, two, the receptivity of the subject, three, the sanction of the unmentionable." So here also Sharendo is saying three factors in which he says first is the force, the strength with which it has been put out. Sometimes teachers work very hard on their students, isn't it? Yeah, I want my student to become like this, the best student. I want this student to be like this. And so much force is put. Or some teachers say, I don't care. I don't want to put anything. Then what's going to happen? It depends, no? The force has to be put. But then just putting the force will not ensure that. The second part is receptivity. Is the person receptive? You tell something. Well, actually, Dhammaji had told one of his shishyas to do a particular small action. Small because from his point of view, it's a small action from the student's point of view. But from Dhammaji, it was from a higher level and it meant to bring about a particular change of consciousness. But instead of speaking the language of consciousness, he used a simple word. He said, do this little act, start doing this act because who knows that act would have opened up some inner psychic channel or some change would have happened. The person's life would have got little transformed. The response was what? I'm busy, I cannot do it. Shishya is telling to the Guru, I'm busy, cannot do an act which can easily be done. It was something about cooking a small thing. Just cook this one day. No, 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 he is busy. And it was all something, it was very strange. So, what has happened here? Receptivity is not there. No? Why is he telling? He's not asking for himself also. He's saying at your city, in your place, you do it. But that also was not possible because receptivity is not there. So then action, force is one side, receptivity is second, and there's a third aspect, the unsanctionable. Means that the fourth aspect of in Mandukya Upanishad, ma, and then Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam, Chaturtham, Samanyante, Satma, Savigneya. The highest, one highest. What is unmentionable is what? That which is not fully understood. What is avyakta? Vyakta, divine aspiration, divine will. What is the divine will ultimately? That also has a role. I beg your pardon. I meant the unnameable, ineffable, and unknowable. Hence, physical consciousness is rather obstinate, as you have noticed, and therefore not too receptive. It may feel the mother inside it, but to obey her will or force is less habitual to it. So that because the person is not receptive, transformation is not happening. I mean, this is like a simple litmus test. Somebody says, why am I not getting transformed? I'm doing so many things. Somewhere receptivity is not there. And this is a beautiful line. It's actually telling, it's like, see, it may feel the mother inside, the mother's force. It may feel the mother inside it. But to obey her will or force is less habitual for it. Meaning the will of the divine is not understood. The will of the divine is not accepted. So understood the presence of the divine, but accepting the will of the divine, that becomes why मेरा अपमान हो जाएगा. I will lose my standing. I am like this. How dare the divine tell me this about me, which is not correct? I cannot tolerate it. I have my own. In Marathi, there's a beautiful bhajan. माझ्या मना लागो छंद गोविंद नित्य गोविंद There's a beautiful line there. Tutela sakara upadhi, nirasela adi vyadhi. Means when all your degrees, all your statuses, all that you are, all that will fall down. And what will happen? Nirasela adi vyadhi. All types of diseases also will fall apart. When that mind has got linked with what? With Govinda, Chanda, Govinda, that is the bhajan's artha. Connect with that consciousness. Everything will change. Allow that. But for that, you have to break all your mold, no? Already formed over so many years, it has become very rigid. So we are not willing to, oh, like the force is coming to mold us. We're saying, no, 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 it's not right. I do not want it. And the force will walk away. So that is the next. Let's continue. N's departure to see his mother, my attachment for my mother, G's activities in Gujarat, and B's departure in spite of his profound bhakti set my brain whirling. No, I'm sorry, I think I missed a point. Page, no, it's correct, yeah. N's departure, Nirodbaran continues. N's departure to see his mother, my attachment for my mother, G's activities in Gujarat, and B's departure in spite of his profound bhakti set my brain whirling. Sri Aurobindo replies, why on earth should such natural and inevitable things make your brain whirl? Very beautiful question. Why should it whirl? So what is he doing right now? He is connecting so with so many chaotic situations, isn't it? He's saying his attachment to his mother. It's probably coming in between his sadhana, no? He has to grow. But one more side, there's an attachment. So that attachment is not allowing him to grow. So that is one thing. Then there's a second. Then second is my then N's departure. So N suddenly left from the ashram to meet his mother or something. So that was one more he said. G's activities in Gujarat. G's activities in Gujarat and B's departure in spite of profound bhakti. So all the worst case scenarios he is looking at the same time, and because he's not able to understand, but basically the root is what in the first aspect, his own attachment to his mother. That has created a flutter. And so Sri Aurobindo says, why is your brain whirling? These are all natural. Why they call when there is what is when your mind is attached, you will have pressures, no? You will have frustration, you will have irritation, you will have disturbance, you will have expectation. All of these don't get full, all expectations don't get fulfilled. Then again, sorrow. The entire cycle is there. That is why in the Gita also Krishna says, no, Mukta Sangha Samachara, Asanga Shastrena Dhrudena Chitva, meaning what? Your weapon should be there. What is that weapon? That weapon is what? Asanga. Get detached. Detached from whom? Everybody is saying. It's difficult, isn't it? Everybody. But unless you do that, you will not be able to move ahead. Unless you do that, you will not be able to take care of the ones you love. Unless you do that, you will not be able to evolve. Unless you do that, you will not be able to fulfill the divine will. You will not be able to reach your life's destiny also. Everybody has a destiny. There's no age key at this age only I will reach my destiny. The age has crossed. Now destiny cannot be reached. It's nothing like that. But for that, we have to, in sadhana, first thing, that is why we are told, let go of the attachments. The moment attachment is there, it creates a problem. Is love possible without attachment? Anybody? Is love possible without attachment? Anyone? Yes? Anybody? Yes? If yes, how? If no, why not? Chitraji's camera is only on, so I could see you nodded. Others, I don't know if they nodded, so I will ask you now. I think drawback of having camera on. Yes, Chitraji?
Yeah, it's when love has to be unconditional and stuff, right? So I think
Hmm.
it is possible. So without
It's
any
possible.
attachment.
Means you
Yeah,
say you love your mother a lot, isn't it? So without attachment, is it possible to do that?
it is possible. But yeah, it is difficult.
Difficult, but possible. So there you will know what is right. Right has to be said. In love, I cannot allow falsehood to come in because of attachment. Attachment only brings no extra baggage which is not required. That's causing whirlwind inside of the head of our Dr. Nirodbaran. So he is not peaceful. Anyway, again, I request everybody please keep your cameras on so I don't unfairly target only Chitraji. Justice should be there everywhere. So let's continue.
Some
Nirodbaran. Yes, sir.
the camera
Yeah,
network
okay. Network issue. All right, sir. Yes, so I'll ask you probably next anytime if you feel like. Ji, sir.
audio.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
No, no, if
fine.
you wish to, of course. Let's continue.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah. Anirudh says, Mother, R says that you visit the dispensary on the first of every month. Are you then coming tomorrow? Sri Aurobindo, R is romancing, or perhaps he's dreaming dreams in preparation of the millennium. By the way, one point. You seem to want the fever down. R wrote that the fever must be there, but not rise too high, because it's a necessary reaction of the body against the poison. Now look here, which doctor am I to follow? Both doctors have given different whatever ideas they've had for the treatment, different lines they have suggested.
മറ്റേ അവര് തന്നെ
Yes, Dr. Suraji?
ആ, yeah, first.
Okay, fine. Not to me. All right. February 1935. Sure, Vindu. We'll look at probably three more questions and we'll call it a day. Sure, Vindu says, sorry, Nirodban says, and asked me to tell you that he felt your presence and force in the evening very concretely. He does not want any medicine at all. He says that he used to have doubts before, but now they have disappeared. So one thing is he's saying he felt the force. That's interesting. Sharvinda replies, it is queer. All the force I'm putting into it, or almost all, turns into this subjective form. Some objective result is there, but still slight, uncertain, and slow. Of course, the cause is apparent. He has been accustomed to receive subjectively, but not accustomed to receive physically. It is not, however, convenient for the present purpose, except as a preparation for the more objective receptivity. So here he is not fully receiving it, just maybe in thought or in understanding, he is understanding something, but still physically, body is not responding, or physically, the full transformation is not taking place by the act of the force. Nirodban, he continues. He says, we are not anxious to stuff him with too much medicine. Perhaps it is better not to give medicines, except lithium. Nirodban, I still can't understand why you should bother to follow us doctors. Shishya is asking Guru. He says, I still can't understand why you should bother to follow us doctors. The divine can very easily act from the supramental consciousness directly. You don't really need a diagnosis given by ordinary men. So this is a tongue-in-cheek statement. Sri Aurobindo is doing the sadhana of supramental. Everybody is not knowing what is the supramental. He says, from supramental consciousness, it will work. Why do you need doctors like us? Anybody would say it's an obnoxious response, isn't it? By a shishya to a guru. Not at all correct. Somebody would get angry. But no, this is not. This is actually what we call a very modern guru-shishya relation, where all is permitted and Sri Aurobindo is allowing it. I think that's the fun, no? That's the joy, isn't it? That freedom that we see here, we only feel a little freer just looking at this. So let's continue. What does Sri Aurobindo reply to such a horrible question? Here, Sri Aurobindo replies, if things were like that, why the deuce should we have doctors or a dispensary at all? And what would have been the use of your 20,000? Because Nirodbaran had once said, I spent 20,000 rupees on my medical education. So it's again reminding him, what would have been the use of your 20,000? Why don't we don't propose to do the whole business of the inside and outside of our own bat? You are necessary for this as Chandulal for the building or others for their work. Who told you we are acting from the supramental consciousness? We aren't and can't until the confounded quarrel with matter is settled. And this was the entire aspect to bring about a transformation. Transformation of what? Transformation of matter itself. In Savitri, there is a beautiful line matter shall reveal the spirit's face. That is absolute Prakriti Karan. That is transformation. Transformation of what? Matter. Final. Jada. Sukshma transformations can happen, isn't it? But Jada transformation, transformation in matter is also possible, is what was this high sadhana of Sri Aurobindo. That is why he was spent his time, despite being on the top in politics, top in Adhyatma, everything, yet he withdrew. Withdrew into one sadhana which was so gupta, nobody knew what is he doing. Not coming out of one room for 17 plus years. How is it possible? How can anybody do that? And why? Nobody knew, but it was this sadhana that Sri Aurobindo was doing. And yet, you see, despite doing this complicated sadhana, he's taking his time out to respond to all of this, isn't it? That shows Vidya Vinayana Shobhate or Vidya Dadati Vinayam. Here he is already reached, but still with all humility. He says, we are not yet acting from the supramental consciousness. We have not yet reached. That's the goal, that's the ideal. Until that, on the occult level, some planes, they have to reach certain things. Some barriers have to be broken. Matter has to be transformed. Until then, it's not that. Doctors also have their role, and he beautifully tells him, don't think yourself too much. Just as Chandulal is there for the building, Chandulal's work is looking after the building maintenance. Just like that, you are responsible for dispensary. Don't take into this. There's a saying, no? Aushadhi Janavi Toyam Vaidyo Narayano Hari. Vaidya is similar to Narayan. Let the patient say that. Let the Vaidya not say, I am Narayan. That will give a wrong, false ahankar. In there again, difference of things will happen. Again, we look at two questions and stop here. Yeah. If we doctors are important as mediums, you must tell me what our attitude should be in conducting a case. This is actually a good question. Means he's saying, this is actually a sincere one for him. As a doctor, what should I do? He's asking, if we doctors are important as mediums, you must tell me what our attitude should be conducting a case. Sri Aurobindo replies, faith, openness, an alert and flexible intelligence. I mean by faith, especially faith as dynamic means of bringing about what has to be effected or realized. I think we'll stop here only. So this is faith, openness, an alert and flexible intelligence. Being open to things outside of your schedule, open to things outside of your understanding, having a firm faith without doubts. That is one. And also alert and flexible intelligence. Alert means you should get the hint immediately, ready to be flexible in your plans also. Then only it is possible. And he says it should be dynamic of bringing about what has to be affected or what has to be realized. My mother, she started reading Sri Aurobindo after connecting with Amleji and all, and she said something very interesting to me very recently. She said now she's a pathologist. Her job is to diagnose what cancers only. I means of course so many things diagnosis happen, but I had a chance to go to her office due to I personally had some treatment to be done. So I went that time and I was sitting in her office. I observed how in 1 minute, I mean, so many slides means in what 15 20 minutes, So many slides were seen and so many diagnoses were done. And I was like, you're sitting here and signing a report or writing a diagnosis, but on another side, patient is going to have such a big set of actions following after that. So how do you manage? Don't you get pressured? She said, no, I've learned to now remember the divine, focus on the divine and do my duty. She said, now also I don't focus too much on personal intelligence. Earlier, she used to read because doctors have to keep updated all the time, continuously keep reading new developments, everything. But now she says, I have become quiet. I've stopped reading in a voracious manner. Whatever is required, I get the hint and then I study and work. And many times that has turned out to be correct. Means that becoming alert is something which we should all be. Probably if we can realize that, I think that would be our basically our life will become joyous, isn't it? Basically, sadhana is for what? For experiencing ananda of what is the life. And ananda can be got where best story is how in Hiranyakashipu's company also somebody was experiencing ananda. Why was that ananda there? Because connection with the divine is there. So if you have connection with divine, your poverty also is going to be a divine poverty. You will be connected with the divine only. In richness also, you're not going to be drowning in richness. You'll be like a Janaka. You will never lose. In health also, your health is good health. You're going to use it for service of the divine. Health is bad. Still, how much is possible in that bad health? I'm going to offer it to the divine. That is the status probably, and probably that's what we should draw in our life also. So with this, I think we can conclude. If anybody wishes to ask or share something or some question related to what we saw today or something related to sadhana, because our aim is to bring into practice. And these sessions are recorded. Somebody else also is going to be listening to it later on. So if a question which is not necessarily yours also can be asked if you feel it is going to lead to Lokasangra. So I think if any queries are there, anything needs to be discussed, we can, or we call it a day. Yes, anybody?
Yeah. Hariomji,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
like what I personally face is that doing sadhana, we get disturbances, discontinuation that often triggers some kind of a setbacks.
Discontinuation in sadhana in the sense, how do you mean, sir? Means you planned a
Like,
japa, anushthan or some kind of, and that got broken.
like we wish to continue this on a regular basis, like
Means what?
jap,
What is it, sir? Japa.
jap mala, just mala jap, simple. Even that also becomes somewhat difficult sometimes. Sometimes it's okay.
Because
It
of
goes.
what it becomes difficult? Is it because of laziness, sir? Or
No,
is
because
because
of
of duties, works, unexpected life situation, isn't it?
the schedule change,
Schedule
travel,
change. Yes, yes, these
everything.
are all.
Of
Yeah. So now, if we are
feel
doing our karma,
stop
yeah,
you like that kind of immense force. I can feel like someone is desperately trying to stop you from doing
from
sadhana.
so
I
that
feel
is one
like
thing, sir. Yeah, that time if we allow the doubts to manifest, means a friend of mine, only a doctor was, he called me from Dubai. There he has to like I think like, doctors are really busy. They have to attend to
hmm,
patients, and he wanted to do a particular Mahavidya's sadhana, and it had to follow a particular big austerity and big discipline. And every time he started a sadhana, it would break. It would break. Something or the other. Somebody passed away. Something urgent came up. Something unnecessarily, somebody else did this, so it created a problem. Now, he talked to his guru over phone only. Unfortunately, he didn't have a phone call actually. It was just through message. That was how he had the connection. But because he kept having doubt, he started feeling, no, 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 I am like this, I am like this. Suddenly now he feels he is doing his sadhana. Actual sadhana is done by the divine through us when we are receptive. When we are doing sadhana becomes, ah, I am doing this sadhana. Damleji had told his friend when he was young, he had said, Kothambir, 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 do this mantra, you will get result. Japa of what? Kothambir. Kothambir is what? Coriander. His friend said, what really? He said, what really? He said, yes, you will get the result. And that person did get a result. Okay, we will see in correspondence also. Somewhere Sri Aurobindo says Om Tut Tut, he immediately starts saying Om Tut Tut, and Nirodbaran tries to, because you have said it, I as a Shishya I can take it as Guru Mantra. He tries to do that also. But what I'm saying is when we are doing the sadhana, our question is, कि अरे sadhana is not over. Means just from Damleji's experience only, he wanted to do a particular sadhana. He is a shishya of Nana Maharaj Taranikar. Nana Maharaj is considered to be one of the in the Datta Sampradaya, one of the avatars of Datta, an incarnation from Indore. So he had left his home and he had done the particular sadhana. He went by the river and started doing his japa. Like you said, no, something comes in between. It broke. He felt so sad. He went to his guru and Nana is a young boy, no, young man. He very young boy went to his guru's lap and he started. He was feeling all teary and he said, "I could not complete this sadhana." But the guru just touched his head and said, "No, no, your sadhana is complete. Your sadhana is complete." But he did not doubt is there, no little bit. How is sadhana complete? But okay, but Shraddha is there. Guru has told means it must be complete. And suddenly he got that. See, when you do the sadhana of mantra sadhana, when it is done under a particular tree like Audumbar Vruksha, the mantra's value is into these many times. When it is done in a sacred spot, it is done these many times. And then he saw actually, he just remembered those verses which were showing ki, yes, his Guru's word has become what we can Safalam Guru Bhashitam. We should have patience. How should that patience be? Akhanda patience. Best like patience of Shabari. Shabari was ready, no? Rama will come. Why? Guru told. Guru's words. तथैवाकरवं राम त्वद्यानेकापरायण प्रतीक्षागमनं तेद्य सफलम guru bhashitam. Sri Rama has come. My Guru's words came true. She's happy at that time. What did the Guru say? Tavad rakshak kalevaram. Till that point, protect your body, old lady. He is going to come. Protect your body. Take care. So with that, but what I'm saying is, if this divine is running my life, then divine only has not given me a chance right now for some reason which may be occult. For me, I'm not understanding. But the divine, if you say Mahakali's force is there, we cannot say Mahakali's love. It is also there only. Mahakali's force is for that force is for breaking all that is wrong, all that is what we can say deception, all that is treachery, all that she breaks. That is her role. She is not going to break good in innocent hearts. Sincere offerings will be taken care with love only. What is not ready, she wants to break. So, goddess also will, there's a love which is there which we will experience. Like you said, suddenly traveling. You are calm, no? Damliji did most of his sadhana of mantra sadhana while he was traveling only. With a briefcase in hand, each step he would take with a mantra. So I'm
On
just
that
giving,
note,
yeah. No,
and
I'm not saying
continue.
your example, but I'm saying is God will give us the ideas to ensure that this sadhana is complete.
No, I was kind of doing this Japan in the mind only
Yeah, yeah.
continuously. There is
No, no,
no breaking.
I'm not speaking in your case, sir. I was actually not mentioning about in reference to you. I was just saying in general, means what happens is tapasya has to be done by the divine through us. Otherwise, we suddenly become, I am now who? I am the descendant of Bhrigu only. Inside of me, I am one of these great wishes. This feeling will come in after sadhana. For me, I was doing every time mantra sadhana, one particular sadhana. When Rudram was told, then Chamakam was told, I would get one particular heat fire sensation. I did not tell this to Damliji at all. So let's get it more confirmed before we go into. Guru will get it really confirmed. Then it happened once, it happened twice, it happened thrice. So many days I have been doing this. Ki, Arey wah, when I come to this particular point, I'm failing that. So I went to Tamilji 12. Now I'm confirmed. Let me go and say, see, when I'm doing this mantra, I'm experiencing heat. He just looked at me, did not utter a single word. Ha, take hai. And as if it's not so important, and he just let it. Okay. Next day onwards, I did not get it. It stopped coming. And 1 year down the line, it became so old an event in my memory that one day I was just talking. Rahulji, I don't remember. Was it Mooladhara awakening or Mool Vyadhi beginning? He also started laughing and he said, "Yeah, that's how it should be. Divine will awaken Kundalini when it is required. Divine will close the Kundalini when it is required. Otherwise, people getting hypoglycemia and are saying Kundalini has been awakened. So we can probably focus on the divine because sincerely action is done, it will be taken care of. I had done the most stupid act of going into Shani temple chanting Guru Mantra out of ignorance and stupidity. But I will not say I was not I was insincere. With full sincerity, because I was stupid just after college, I thought I'm going for marketing tour now for these products. Let me get blessings of Shani Maharaj. And I called my mother in the bus. Ki, Mommy, tell me this mantra. There was some network problem or something. She didn't hear which graha I'm talking about. So she thought I was talking about Guru. She gave me Guru mantra. And that time internet was not so common or so easily available. So then I've written down on a piece of paper on the bus, this is the mantra for Shani. And I went in Karekal, there is a very famous temple. And so after that, first thing I remember after coming out is my foot fell in cow dung. I was like, aha, what an auspicious beginning. And that day went very well. And went well or not well, results were mixed, whatever. So I went to Damliji and said, Gee, I have today, not only marketing, I also did this sadhana and I coupled both together and I was like, Acha, very good. I even told this mantra. Now mantra should be given by Guru, right? I didn't get it from Guru. So he said, Acha, very good. Which mantra? So I said, Devanancha, Rishinancha, Gurunkanchana Sannibham, Buddhivottam, Trilokesham, Tannamam Bros. Hey, did you not hear in that mantra there is no Shani? I was like, oh, right. I did not realize it. Then I was like, now what? Will Shani Maharaj get angry because I went to his temple, said another mantra, now he will have cope? He said, what, you think he is like your classmates and your own friends who are going to get irritated and frustrated over these? He would have said, one silly child is having a, but he's sincere. He is praying to me, but he does not even know he is saying the wrong mantra. I don't think Shani Maharaj would have got affected. He is such a great one. He is the God of what we can say, God of all the hard workers. He is the one who cares for all the laborers. He cares for all who are suffering. That is where humility, all of that is what is His. So it doesn't make a difference. So maybe we will get an understanding. Only we can understand that, like his best example was Nirodbaran. No? He did not do that much sadhana. Japa only he missed out, actually. But his dispensary had shifted closer to Shriranda's room. So he started feeling much better, much happier. And when Sri Aurobindo, he asked, see, I'm not doing much sadhana, yet I'm feeling happier. I'm feeling guilty also, he told. What should I do? No, no, it's fine. If you are feeling happier, it's better. Happiness is a salt in sadhana. Means food becomes good with taste of salt. No, something like that. If your happiness is there. When you take an Anushthan, sadhanas must be done as per Guru's Adesh, without which we cannot do it. Hari Om. Yes, there's network, I think. Yes, so I think, Dr. Suraji, we need not trouble ourselves with the thoughts of, means, these thoughts will trouble us more. Instead, go to Guru Sharana. Guru will take care. Means, generally, sadhana is done after the Adesh of the Guru. So best is ask guidance from Guru at that particular time only. Ki what is to be done? Guru has given sadhana. If some badha is coming, what is the role of Guru again? To dispel that, no? So you can ask at that time and ask with you can, go to your, means particulars. Otherwise, it is okay, is what Sri Aurobindo has clearly said. If you are doing swa ichha, swa anushtan, you are starting on your own, not because of an adesh, it's all right. Try your best, slowly, slowly. God will not punish us for sincerely doing our duties and responsibilities. Even Nana Maharaj had told at that time, no? This person said, I keep doing every day Sandhya, I keep taking care of all the gods every day. Now I have to go to go outside. What is going to happen to my gods and something like that. He said, you have to keep them nicely, properly, and keep them up. At that time, it was so many years. It's like what, fifth, seventh, how advanced? That was for an old lady, he told. Because this old lady is now so disturbed and not understanding her. She has to go for a pilgrimage and she is still saying, what will I do? Everything. He said, no, no, because kartavya, karma, who has given the kartavya? Our Kshetrajna has given role. Duty, I am on duty. Soldier on duty has duty only to do, no? No preferences, no choices. Victim of circumstance? No victim. Victor of circumstances. That's all. No matter how difficult. Okay, ठीक है, not happened. Chalo, I will do 500 more. Japa. I'll compensate. Today I could not, tomorrow I'll do it again. And restart again. Let me try again. But the mind part should not get anywhere depressed. Depressed, not in depression, but the thoughts only, lower thoughts. The quality of the mantra is important. The bhav with which we connect with the Aradhya. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, when we say that, am I focusing on quickly how many times I'm going to complete Shri Ganesha, Shri Ganesha? People say that so fast, the pronunciation is also not there. Or then sometimes pronunciation only and you forget where the divine is. No visualization of the Deva only. Because I am perfect in pronunciation, this will give me powers like now Shaktiman is coming back. Something like that. It's not that way at all. We have to focus on this aspect. Yes, sir. I think it's also time. Chitraji, would you like to summarize or anybody else would like to summarize? I turn to Chitraji because every time it has become like a tradition. Yes.
Should I go ahead?
Surajji, Manishaji, and what do you think? Yeah, you can ask Surajji and Manishaji. Yes,
Summarize.
Surajji said thumbs up. Manishaji, can, yeah,
About summarization?
yeah,
About
summarization.
what?
About today, so today's summarization, can Chitraji go ahead? She was asking. I said she can ask you and then go ahead. If you say okay, or if you want to summarize, you can also summarize.
Yes, she can ask me.
Huh?
She wants
She
to
can?
ask me some questions.
No, no, no.
No, no, no. I was
Um,
saying Chitraji said she wanted to summarize. So I said, let us
No,
get the okay from everybody.
no.
So,
I'll,
like that. Can
I'll
she go
summarize.
ahead?
Yes, yes,
Huh?
please.
You are
Yes,
summarizing.
of
You
course.
said you're summarizing. Oh,
No,
great.
no, no, I'll
Yes, yes,
try.
yes. No, Chitraji, I think let us, Manisha, please, we would like to, we don't want to be trapped in a ritual, right? So it's all right. Please
Sir,
go ahead, Manisha ji.
I have just few points about the
Yeah.
base that has to be strong. The Aadhaar has to be receptive, like open and psychic, where the forces, when Nirodbaran, Sri Nirodbaran spoke about the forces, then he said that there are forces which are at play for the to allow the transformation to happen, and but the forces can be at play, or the transformation can happen only if we are receptive. That is, the psychic should be open, and yeah, just the base has to be strong to allow the forces to be to hold the force. The base needs to be strong, and
Preconceived notions, all those things have to be kept aside so that divine's will can function. Otherwise, divine's will not function. Individual will visualize and imagine on own without really allowing. God's will is actually flow of ananda everywhere. But our individual will sometimes blocks that. Yes, ji. Anything
Yes.
else, Manisha ji?
no, that's all.
Okay, so fine.
I,
Chitra ji, would you like to add on to what Manisha ji said? Then we conclude with the Shanti mantra. If for some
Yeah.
reason my connection drops, I would request someone to say the Shanti mantra in the end and conclude. Yes, please. Yes, ji, please continue.
Yeah, it was more or less the same thing, but yeah, the success of the force sent depends on three factors, is what we saw. That is the strength sent out by the sender, or Sri Aurobindo in this case, and receptivity of the receiver, and the will of the divine. So the success of the force sent depend on these three factors. And yeah, Sri Aurobindo says that he is not for nirvana, basically not to withdraw from services, and his way of operation is the integral yoga, basically. That was one thing we saw. And yeah, the mental formations due to preconceived notions and fears can lead to manifestation of those in the physical world. So regarding the illness factor, that was something that we saw. And the various external happenings due to various factors that like attachment to his mother and stuff cause some kind of disturbance in Dr. Nirodbaran's mind. So those should ideally not be there. So that was one thing we saw. And he asks for what are the four qualities, I mean, the attitude of a doctor. So basically, faith, openness, and alert and flexible intelligence. These were some of the things that we saw today. Yeah.
All right, ji. Fine. Yes, ji. Thank you. Anything else?
Just wanted to ask one thing. So, when do we decide that it was the divine force that acted, or it's the grace? I mean, if it's a miraculous recovery, then it is considered as the grace that has
No,
acted.
no. That question was actually here. He was depending on grace, our Nirodbaran, and was denying the force. I'm saying grace alone will do, but grace works through force only, no? For the divine grace to happen. It is just hoping for a miracle ki in my life everything will change by an act of miracle. And I'll keep praying to God, keep bring that miracle, bring that miracle. But that is what kind of prayer? This is a sakam prarthana, a prarthana which is filled with only emotions, lower emotions only, what we call Sri Aurobindo calls vital plane. This is not higher. But they are still hoping. Instead of that, allow the force to work. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim. Attempt must be made, no, to speak. All happens because of grace. But attempt must be done. Means that shloka also is about that. The person begins to speak means attempt efforts. The person why will a pangum, somebody who is not able to walk, try to climb a mountain? Why will that person do that when the person is having Shraddha and the person is taking the efforts also? Grace will come. Grace is like what we can say, a assurance which is coming from the divine, but it is not a demand. We cannot demand grace like pistol example Shervindu gave. As a doctor, you're holding pistol to me, medical pistol, and asking grace to work. It will not work like that. So it means I hope I clarified that. Ji.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
is it? Yes, fine. That is the difference.
On that note,
Fine. Yes, sir.
yeah, on that thing that how will we understand that this is the divine will or this is my will? Like,
Damle, my mother had told me this. When God's will and yours will matches, things happen freely and easily. When God's will and your will clashes, there's a lot of fluctuation, lot of frustration. This dialogue created big frustration inside of me. From my mother, she's telling me, why does God not want me to do my master's in renewable energy? I was like, what business does God have to come and stand in the way of my education? Because I was trying for getting into colleges and I was getting absolutely crazy responses and rejections. Means my grades were good, my IELTS exam score was nice. People with lesser grades have got placed, have means got their offers. They got offers for different courses. And here I have a vision. I want to do something. And I was feeling frustration. And I went to my mother. She told me this dialogue. That dialogue created frustration inside of me. Why does God want to come in between my education? How can God's will be different from my will? So that time it created frustration. Now I understand कि चलो ठीक है. Because the same college which I went, which I was planning, I didn't go MCA, which I planned to go. A year senior of mine, one person went, he came back and started doing emo farming. And he got trapped in some other big, what we can say, he was cheated. He was cheated also, and he got a bad name and everything. But I don't know what, it was no guarantee. It was a thought that I thought at that time. And simply how I knew I wanted to come to the Dhammaji was there was a need. There was a need. I was like, my personal dream is this side. Here is the need on the other side. So what should I do? I think you should look at need. Naturally, if you look at the need, no, at this moment, I have this dream. It was so long, it took me like for many, many years, I was still, I will do somehow later, I'll do MSc, I'll do renewable energy, I'll do this, I'll do that. I met one yogi, and the first thing that person tells me, you have great future in renewable energy. I was like, what? Out of the
Um,
blue, why does this person have to use this word who sees me, does not know me, and says, I have just by looking at me? But that's a nature, no? It's a game of nature going on. That was a
that
resolve to check my test.
one person told me that if you want to make some discovery in the field of chemistry, you need not to be in the department of chemistry. You can do it with the physics department also.
Yeah, and
Like that.
mind is a big renewable energy, isn't it? Biggest renewable energy is mind. I'm getting a chance to work on my own mind. So let me
Yeah.
make it renewable is what I'll try. But what I'm saying is the simplest outer litmus test. Ki, I'm requiring a lot of efforts to manifest something. That means there's a clash of forces. So at least that much I can understand alertly.
The problem what I am facing is like
Hmm.
something was given to me like this is indication like that
By Guru?
by like we ask in a temple and all like should we do this or
But that
that
person
like
was not your Guru. That person was
hmm,
not your Guru. Guru Tulya.
nothing.
Revered
Ah,
person, elder, but not Guru. Because there's a difference between Guru Tulya and Guru. Guru gives its Adesh. Guru Tulya Vyakti may give, you may respect it, but it need not have the same tantric effect as a Guru's words.
so like and that way I think I chose that path, but on the way well, like it seems like a impossible task. And looking back, every task I have completed, it is like impossible.
You have completed it though. Okay.
Literally, literally, even if I think I am again to face that thing, I don't know I can overcome
Okay.
it or not.
Ji sir.
So maybe that is the path that God has chosen for me, or maybe I don't. That is
No,
the
our
term I
job is not, see, like for me, I want to write poetry. I want to sit
can.
quietly under the trees and not get disturbed. I want to write a epic. Last
That
seven
will
years, it's,
that will never happen with
no, so
us.
we have to not do what we love. We have to do what we need to do, and we have to start loving what we are doing. That is important. Finding
Yeah,
our
yeah.
love in doing what we are.
Yeah, I do that. I do that. I do
Yes, sir. Ji,
whatever
sir.
I do.
I think
The thing,
because of the time constraint, we will have to, everybody is, it is also late, so we could have a discussion afterwards, afterwards if you wish to, on a specific topic also. But right now, because it's also getting recorded, we conclude
yeah,
with
yeah.
the Shanti mantras. Yes, sir. Hari Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरि ओम् तत्सत् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं पुनर्मिलामः हरि ओम् नमस्ते
Hari.
Hari Om.
हरि ओम्
Thank
हरि
you.
ओम्